Hello again and welcome back to March May's Midlife Dolly Crisis. So a while ago I was tagged in a getting to know you type video from Evelina over at Evergreen Art Dolls. And basically this was a get to know you video where there's a list of questions about you or you as a collector or your dolls, and you basically have to make a video and answer them. So I'm going to be doing that today. I'm going to put a link down to Evelina's video in the description box down below. I'm also going to put a link down to her channel also. And yeah, I'm going to put the questions down there as well. So there's only 7 questions, which for something like this actually isn't too bad, because I think I've done ones before where it's felt like there's about 100 questions. So yeah, so I'm also going to put them on the screen under me as well. Well, not under me, you know, under my face or whatever. So question number 1, and I've got them on my phone, so if you see me looking down, it's not that I'm nodding off or anything, I'm literally just looking at my phone. So question number 1 is, what are the origins of your YouTube name? So I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I think I've probably spoken about it in comments and things like that. Essentially, March Payne is the name of a villainous doll in a book by Rumour Godden called The Doll's House, which was also made into a TV series in the early 80s, which I remember watching. So it was a stop motion TV series, obviously for children. It was based on the original book. As I say, March Payne was the villainous doll from that. I'm not going to say what she ends up doing, but you should read the book maybe, or you probably see the series on YouTube or something somewhere. So that's basically where the name came from, and the whole midlife dolly crisis. So I have a fondness for comic books, and there was a huge event in the DC universe back again in the 80s called Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I suppose the idea of a crisis appealed to me, having that in the title, and I kind of felt that March May's Midlife Dolly Crisis kind of tripped off the tongue a bit like that title, so that was why Crisis was in there, and midlife because I guess that's where I am in my life. Maybe a little bit past that now, but yeah, eternally middle age. That's me. So that's basically answers that question, I hope. Question number 2 is, what is a fear of yours? I want to keep this light, but the answer is death. Question number 3. What are you good at? And then it's got skills, question mark. I think I'm probably good at making people laugh, possibly, or at least making myself laugh, which I think is probably more important. That I also think is a skill. Other skills I've got, I don't know, I'm not really good at anything, to be honest. I'm good at not doing what I'm meant to be doing a lot of the time. So procrastinating, is that a skill? I don't know. It is now. So question number 4 is to do with sort of media, and it is, what is your favourite movie, show, and what are you currently watching? So I think I probably mentioned along the way a lot of what I'm interested in. So I like science fiction stuff and cult TV stuff and you know, general sort of campy things like that. It's really difficult, I think, to sort of pinpoint your favourite TV show. It's like, what TV show could you watch forever? And I don't know. There's so many of them that I enjoy. And they're all so different. I couldn't just pick one, and I'm not going to. So instead I'm going to tell you what I'm currently watching. So currently I'm watching Murder, She Wrote. I've seen it once already, I'm sure. Because it's been on TV forever and ever, and I remember watching it when I was growing up. We are on series, the Royal We, obviously, me and my husband. We are currently on, I think it's season 7, so it's sort of halfway through, just about. But yeah, I do enjoy it. I do quite like whodunits and stuff like that. I like the whole kind of looking for clues and sort of trying to guess who it is that the murderer is. By the time you get to series 7, I think everyone who, you know, can act has been in it, and anyone who can't act is in it. But basically, you see the same faces again playing other characters, so it's kind of funny for that reason, and it's sort of interesting as well to see how many people have been in it about 10 times. So yeah, so Murder, She Wrote is one of the things we're watching. The other thing we're watching is probably less remembered, for good reason possibly, and that is Sequest DSV, which was on. So I was going to say when I was growing up, but I must have been at least 20 when it started. It's kind of an interesting series in that it was retooled, and there was 3 different series, and basically for each series it was kind of retooled, which is never a great sign for a TV show. Steven Spielberg was involved, so I think that's probably why it ended up even getting to series 3. But the first series, basically they're on a submarine. So the submarine is the Sequest, and it's kind of like Star Trek under the water. But the first series is very kind of science-based, almost. There's not really... there's one sort of like science fiction story. Actually, there's a few that kind of delve into science fiction, but not heavily. And in the second series, they kind of ramped it up. So basically, all the science stuff was gone, and they were literally like... not fighting aliens in every episode, but it was all very kind of like, oh, now there's a giant squid attacking us. It was very science fiction in the second series. And the third series was kind of set later on, and it was almost like military science fiction. I have fond memories of it. It's the one with the talking dolphin in, if you can't remember it. That might twig a memory in your head. But yeah, so that is what we are currently watching. So question number 5 is, what is your favourite doll? So I've got a selection of favourite dolls here, which I'm going to show you. So obviously, you know, I can't not mention my first Stock Blythe doll, who was this one, and she is called Cloud9 Bowl. She's kind of like, her theme was sort of like a 50s bowling theme, so obviously that immediately, you know, piqued my interest. I got her second hand. There is an unboxing video of her. Actually, is that unboxing? It might not be a proper unboxing, but I do an overview of her way back. I'll try and put a link maybe in the description box. But yeah, so obviously she's one of my favourites. This is not her stock. I've redressed her. So she's one of my favourites just because she was like the first one. Not my first Blythe, but my first stock Blythe. I did have kind of the fakey girls before that, but yeah, she's my first stock Blythe, or Takara Blythe, or whatever you want to call them. So yeah, she's obviously very precious to me. Also, I have got this girl here, who is Cindy. She's kind of Sweet Treats, was her full title, and she was part of the relaunch of the Cindy dolls from 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. She was kind of my favourite from the line. I just really like her. I like her colouring and stuff like that. This is her stock outfit, because I think I changed her back for some reason. But yeah, so she's another kind of favourite of mine. I think it's the hair and the look, and obviously the side-eye, which I'm obsessed with. And finally, this doll, who we all know as Ursula. She just always makes me smile. So she is one of my favourites. She's she's the most recent doll, I guess, from my favourites dolls. You probably watched me unbox her as well. But yeah, I really like her. She's just fun. I love her colouring. I love her hair. She just makes me smile, as I say. So that is one of my favourite dolls, and obviously the other 2 are also favourites. I can't choose a favourite. It's basically like Sophie's Choice. You can't really choose. Actually, that's taken a dark turn, really, hasn't it? Let's go on to the next question, shall we? So, this is question number 6, and it is, what is your favourite store, BJD or otherwise? So, I don't actually own any BJDs, apart from those little mini ones. But that's kind of besides the point. What is my favourite store? So, I would say, here in Ireland we have a toy shop called Smith's Toys. I guess that is kind of the only physical place that I would actually go to for dolls. I do really enjoy sort of like flea markets and things like that. So I was actually very lucky when I went to a particular flea market for the first time earlier in the year, because I managed to find 2 Cindy dolls, which were these ones. Again, you'll probably remember me not unboxing them, but showing them off. So I kind of cleaned them up and redressed them, and yeah, I was utterly delighted to find them, and I've been back since quite a few times and never found another doll to buy, because they just don't seem to be any, unfortunately. But yeah, I was very lucky to get these. Other stores, I guess it's kind of online things, so I'll always kind of look on Amazon, although I don't particularly approve, or I don't approve myself using Amazon. I don't kind of like Amazon, but it's just very handy, and obviously the prices are also good. Which sounds kind of pathetic saying it like that, but yeah. So Amazon, I'll always look on probably Etsy as well. eBay less these days, but I will still kind of look on there. But yeah, it's kind of the main three, I suppose, are kind of Etsy, Amazon, and occasionally eBay. So the last question is, what is your clothing style and how do you like to dress your dolls? So if you've watched any of my videos, I think you probably have heard me sort of saying how much I like the sort of the 60s style. So I do like the 60s. I kind of like the 50s kind of look as well, and kind of going into the 70s as well. But yeah, so doll wise, I do kind of prefer the whole sort of like 60s look. There's just something about it. I think that's probably why I'm kind of attracted to sort of the early Barbies, even though I don't have any, but just because of the whole kind of like 50s, 60s vibe that she has going on. But for myself, it's kind of weird. I used to have, I suppose, kind of an interesting dress sense. It's kind of dropped off in recent years. And I tend to just wear just kind of like t-shirts and not even jeans really, just sort of like trousers and stuff like that. But yeah, I would kind of like to get back into being a bit more sort of fashionable or interesting what I'm wearing. So that concludes all 7 questions, hopefully. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like it and please share it. And I'm not going to tag any of you. If you want to do this video, if you want to do this sort of question thing, then just do it. Just do it and enjoy it. I will put all the questions down in the description box below. Thank you for watching. So I will see you in the next video. So until then, take care. Bye.